probability, which you probably would not necessarily go to, is probability is a measure of randomness. Yeah,
kind of like a wave function?
not necessarily, because that is a specific example of probability dealing with a specific aspect of reality. This type of probability is dealing with the measure of randomness in any different circumstance. And what we'll see is that there are connections between graphs and probability, and we'll talk about those connections as we go. So, one place where we're talking about measured randomness, which deals maybe a little bit back up with the odds and the prediction of outcomes, is when people buy a lottery ticket. If you ever look at the back of your lottery ticket, it usually lists the odds of winning. Those are the chances that your ticket is going to win something based on the number of outcomes that exist. One thing that people often don't realize, so I will take a Powerball for example, there are over 150 million Powerball combinations. Over 150 million. Okay? You buy one ticket, your chances of winning the grand jackpot, 1 in 150 million. Okay? What do you think is more likely? Winning the lottery or get hit by an asteroid? You have a better chance of being hit by an asteroid than you do winning the lottery. Almost 100 times more likely. Okay. What about hit by lightning? Winning the lottery or hit by lightning?
Hit by lightning.
Hit by lightning. Hit by lightning, you have about a 1 in 15,000 chance of being hit by lightning. So you're looking at about 1,000 times more likely to be hit by lightning than win the lottery. Okay. There are so many events that happen in our daily lives that we can quantify in terms of probability. Like, what are the odds that as I'm driving down College Street, I get in an accident? Well, there's people who spend their time and their days identifying answers like that. And there are people out there whose jobs are to measure things like that. The people at the insurance company, the people that issue your car insurance, they hire people whose job is to identify, based on the limited information we have from Joe here, what are the odds that he gets in an accident tomorrow? There are people who know those odds. People whose jobs it is to calculate things like that. Okay. So probability, again, is a way of measuring randomness, how things happen, what the likelihood of those things happening is. That's how probability comes into our daily lives. And we will look at all sorts of different things to analyze in that respect when we get there. But for the first part of the class, we're going to focus on statistics. And the major things that we want to be able to do with statistics is we want to be able to analyze data based on samples and populations. Now, there are hundreds of different ways that we can analyze data. We'll talk a little bit about some of these next time, but we can either, if we collect data, there's a couple different things we have to do. What kind of data have we collected? Is the data that we collected, does it have some sort of numerical representation, right? For example, if I want to know the average height of people in class, right? What I can do is I can get my ruler out or my tape measure. I can measure everyone in class. And then I can figure out what the average height in class is. Okay? Suppose I want to know average hair color. Well, I can't really measure hair color with my ruler. Okay? There's no good measure of numerical values that tells me anything about hair color. That data has no numerical values to it. So there's going to have to be some different way of going about analyzing that data than dealing with the average height. So when we collect data, we have to identify certain aspects of it. Is it numerical? Is it not numerical? Does it make sense to add two of these values together? These are all kind of things that we're going to talk about next time. But what we want to do in this first part of the class is we want to find ways of analyzing data, of representing data, and of drawing conclusions from the data that we've collected. Okay? And so that's what our focus for the first part of the class is. I don't want to go too much further into it than that for now, so we will end the class here. I realize that I owe you 9 minutes of class. I'll start 9 minutes early next time if that's okay with you guys. Does that work? No?
Because
Well, then we'll call it even. I'll let you guys have a good afternoon.